Say, are you looking for a new car that delivers on looks, value, and performance? Well, look no further than your local Desoto dealer and check out the new 1956 Desoto Firedome with standard Hemi power. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I really wouldn't have much of a problem going back to 1956. So, with that said, I'd like to introduce my newest project. So, I've had this thing stored away for several months. I picked this up last year, and I'll show you around. I'll show you what we got here. This is a 1956 DeSoto Firedome sedan, and I don't know the history on this car whatsoever. Know nothing about it, but I saw this for sale, and I knew I had to have it. So this is a sort of a, I guess someone found it in a barn. It probably was in a barn or in the shed or something. I bought it non-running. Don't know if it will run. Doesn't drive. Doesn't do anything a car should do. But boy, it sure is pretty. This is an interesting, they call this this paint combination, this is called tritone. So it's some name of red, and then very bright white on the top, and then black in the cove molding or the inset molding, the contrast. I think there's a word for that they called it. But so give you a little backstory on these cars. These are based on a Chrysler, like a 1955 or 56 Chrysler. DeSoto's always were. So you had like a Plymouth and a Dodge that were probably built on the same chassis, same wheelbase, and then you had a Chrysler and a DeSoto. This car, as I said in my little introduction there, has a V8, Hemi V8. DeSotos during this year always had standard V8 engines. There were no 6-cylinder DeSotos. So it's a very basic car. This car doesn't have really any options on it, but it is overall very solid, and it was affordable. That was the main thing. I've been looking for an older car, older than the 1970s. I've worked on a lot of 1970s Mopars and stuff, and I'm just kind of, I don't know, just a little tired of it. So anyhow, as I said, I got wind of this car, went and looked at it, and struck a deal, and we had to basically drag this onto the wrecker with a lot of effort. The rear wheels would not turn, so that's interesting. I've looked into that. I had to get the drive shaft disconnected to get it in here. I got it in here with a lot of effort, more than I would care to talk about. So anyway, so let's look at this thing. I'm sorry it's kind of crammed. You know, this is where I have to work, so we kind of have to do some close quarters here. But it's really straight. It's got a nice front end on it. I've never had a car like one of these this old, as I've said. It's got the nice anodized V symbol on it. A really awesome hood ornament. This car's obviously been restored at some point many moons ago, and it survived pretty well. This looks like it's got I think it's got all the original glass in it, because it says Solex. And I just washed this thing off before I brought it in here, and the bird already crapped on it. But that's what when you're running a nature preserve like I am, that's what you have to deal with. So this looks like an add-on, this visor. It's not. This is made onto this is part of the car originally. It's not vented. There are no vents under it. Rear view mirror. The trim's in good shape. The stainless is in really good shape. Some of the things like the mirror and the door handles are showing their age, but not bad. As I said, you got Solex glass. I think the glass is original. The paint quality I would term decent. I see some sand marks in it in different places. I think I saw some up here too, so it's nothing I'm going to complain about. A little bit of orange peel in it, so it's okay. For what it is, it's fine. This side's not, I don't see any kind of bodywork popping through. These cars were notorious for rusting, and this side I don't see any, but the other side is a little worse than this one. The paint, it's kind of hard to see, but the paint is chalky on the back of it. When we get around to the back here, you'll notice that it's a lot less shiny, like it was nosed in somewhere and the sun hit it. I don't know what this is about here. Somebody has tried to do something, probably. On the back, some of the paint has been chipping off, I noticed. So, like over here. So I guess that was someone's misguided attempt to help it. So straight bumpers on it. 56 was the first year. This is part of the forward loop. This is the first year that they put fins on them. The 55 looks similar to this car, but not exactly. So this thing is a little cattywampus. Needs some adjustment. I'm not going to try to open that, but it's all there. The cap's there for the... It looks like all my tires. I had to put a bunch of junker wheels and tires on this thing to get it in here. I see some body work popping through right here. See a little bit above there. And obviously, I see some where the paint is starting to turn loose of the Bondo. So somebody had to do something. This car may have been repaired, like from a wreck or something. So places got a bit of rust there. But it's straight. Bumpers are good. Looks like there's a place where some water was dripping, like two different places right there and there. So check out this. You see this sign here, this emblem, which is original. This says Frigiking, and at least a couple people have had problems interpreting this sticker. They tried to say Frigidaire. That says Frigiking on it, not Frigidaire. So that's a sign of something I'm going to show you in here. It's pretty neat. We'll open the trunk up. The trunk has been passing some water. When I first got this, let's see if I can do this one hand. I went ahead and sealed it with some Pour 15. It needs a trunk seal on it, I think, pretty badly. But trunk is pretty straight. Otherwise, it's got one of the original caps still there. It's got some of the jack paraphernalia. There's no spare in it. That looks original. I don't know what that is. I see something up here that looks like this is not the right bolt right up here. Not sure. This was in there as a spare, but that's a different size wheel. They had a Ford hubcap on it, and I just left it as yard art here. Single exhaust. So let me get my light. We'll look in and look at the interior. So fortunately for me, somebody redid the seats on this car ages ago, and they've held up really nicely. There's a little bit of just junk that's in here, probably from, might be a mouse has been in here, but the door cards are not bad. Just very basic. The door check is broken, I think, over here. It will not stay open. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I may have to. That's a heavy door. Let me think up something here briefly. I don't want to damage anything. All right, careful, buddy. Oh, what do you do here? Trying to do this and hope. Yeah, put you down for a minute. Hang on. Okay, I got it worked out, I think. I know. I think you wouldn't thought that before you started filming, did you? So, looking up here, it's got a neat old set of service records on it. Looks like that says 11566, 30 weight oil, 26,776 miles. Now has 40,319. Don't know if that's original or not. But I always have problems filming the insides of cars because there's not a lot of light in it, so we're just going to give it a quick overview of it just to try not to linger too much. It has a push button drive, which these all had, and since it only has 4 buttons on it, that means it's a 2-speed power flight transmission, a lot like a Power Glide in a Chevy. And then when you have the Power Flight, there's no park positions. You have to be sure that you put the brake on. That's the brake there, the hand brake goes around the drum on the transmission. So we look at the dash. Full set gauges. We have amperes. We have gasoline, speedometer, oil pressure, temperature. Got a control for the lights down there. It says panel. Got one for wipers. It has electric wipers. One for the heater and the defrost, one for the temp, and one for the ignition switch. It's just a thing for the ignition. No radio. This car was a radio delete car. Dash over here, I've looked in the glove box, there is nothing there. It's missing a panel over there. It's got a nice original type of looks like aftermarket floor mat on it. This car has a rubber carpet, they called it. That's what it had. Big power brake pedal. The accelerator pedal is worn, and it has had something put on it. I don't know what that is. So here is our Frigiking. Again, that does not say Frigidaire. This is Frigiking air conditioning unit. That is an aftermarket. Somebody put this on after they bought the car. Has a few controls as off, high, medium, and low with the MagnaTouch temperature control. There's direct air or off. Frigicar. That says Frigicar. Neither of those say Frigidaire, by the way, out of Dallas. And then constant. Well, this thing's a monster. So there's a seal of some type that is laying on the top. I wonder if that's off the... This car actually has a cowl vent up there. You can hardly see that, but it has a lever for it right there. I think that's it. That's your vent lever for your cowl. And then it looks like there's 2 more over here. Right there. Right there. There's the other one. So that's interesting. I have to figure out how all that works. So anyway, looks like got the original steering wheel. Don't know what all that means there, but this is power steering, power brakes. Looks like the original headliner was some stains. It has the dome light there. There's a switch for the dome light over here. I guess we'll turn it off constantly. But it looks, aside from the seats, it looks and smells original in here. And so, yeah. Nice sun visors. I think this one over here has a mirror on it. Yep, that says Desoto. This is a black and white interior. I think it, like I said, not the seats, I'm sure, are not the original pattern. So anyway, one thing in here I noticed, I was looking around, I don't know what this all is. There's a switch here that if we pull it, it's got 3 positions, and that turns on the headlamps. And there's a push button next to it, which just is just a push button, momentary action push button. So I'm not sure what's going on there. You know, when you buy this used stuff, you never know, because someone has, I don't know if that's an old man workaround that they did better. I don't know. But I know I'm going to take it all out and throw it away or store it back the way it's supposed to be. You know me. So I know what everybody wants to look at now. You know, doors just don't close like that anymore. Now they just kind of That's a door there. I mean, if you really wanted to slam a door, like storm away and slam the door, this is perfect. There you go. So to get this hood open, somewhere under here, there's a lever. There it is. That pops up, and then straight under here is another one. Oh boy. Yeah. So we're going to be spending more time under here for sure. But this is looks like probably the original. This is a 330 cubic inch Hemi. Back in those days, Chrysler, Dodge, and Desoto, Plymouth didn't have one, had their own, each had their own Hemi. So this is a Desoto Hemi. It says it on it. It says Desoto Firedome 8. So we're going to come under here. I don't want to rush through this, so we're going to do another video on this probably maybe next weekend, of looking over this thing in depth under the engine compartment, under the bonnet, under the hood, because there's a lot to check out on here. This thing, it looks like it's totally original, and there's just things under it that you under here that nobody's probably seen in a long time and doesn't see much of on one of these. But as far as I can tell you, it's filled up to the top with antifreeze, and the engine does turn. It's not stuck. So I don't know how long it's been since it's run. I'm saying a very, very, very long time. But we're going to pickle this thing and let it sit with some soak in it, and give it a whirl. So anyway, don't know how soon that'll be. But anyway, so I wanted to show you guys all this. Really neat car. Like I said, you know, it's when you meet the person that you're going to marry, and the first time you know it, and that's the person for you. Well, this was a car for me. This is just what I was looking for. So kind of resembles a 56 Chevy, 55 or 56. The roof line does. The back end doesn't so much, but that roof line looks real reminiscent to a 55, 56, 57 Chevy, doesn't it? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. We're getting under the 20-minute mark to try to do a little bit of a short one that I don't have to edit. So I have an old computer, the same one I bought way back in the old days from the thrift store. It's still going somehow, but it is elderly, and this camera makes such nice high quality videos. It just has a lot of trouble chewing those up, so you know what that means. It's not your fault. It's not YouTube's fault. Maybe not really my fault, but it's my responsibility. I'm just gonna have to get a better computer. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot. So we'll see you down the road. Remember, if you're looking for a new car, don't forget DeSoto.